Yeah, exactly.
But
Especially if
some
you look.
people are obsessed with stuff like that. That's the
Yeah,
crazy part.
yeah. I think that, especially I don't think of it when I look at Jason Kidd. What I think,
The Drake complexion.
yeah, I mean, I'm closer to that. Yeah, you always, anyways. That's not go there.
Talking about documentaries, stories that matter, storyline creating, Peabody Awards. You went to the Peabody Awards, right?
I did. It was the last second. I don't even know how to say it. Storyline that got me there. But the Peabody Awards is supposed to be podcasts, radio shows, TV shows, anything that matters, news,
Online media, etc.,
media,
etc.
everything media.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting actually. So I stayed at. Are you guys familiar with? Well, I stayed at the Beverly Hills, which is where it was. But you guys know PBD, Patrick Bet David.
Of
Of
course, we
course,
know him.
of course.
I introduced Patrick to RJ
In
when he
person.
was when he was a little boy.
No, yeah,
No,
he introduced me to the channel Valuetainment,
yeah,
and yeah,
when they were small.
yeah, I can like if I go take 5 steps to my
Yeah.
left and bring both of his books. Well, he has more books, but well, the last 2 books, that's the ones I heard are better. So
Shout out
Nice.
to
All
Patrick.
right. So great. So we'll start here. I met a couple guys from his team
yeah,
at the gym.
okay, nice.
They claimed to have no idea that what the Peabody Awards were, let alone that they were staying at the hotel where they were hosting the Peabody Awards.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
that's a
I
cl-
didn't.
that, that's
I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it for a second. I don't want this to speak negatively of PBD, but at the same time, this is the world that I walked into. Of he, I mean, net, he definitely wanted that to feel like a happenstance type of thing. Rub shoulders with the right people. Now you have a couple new guests for a few months. It's very clear that that was the strategy. But then it was like, don't let anyone know. I don't know why they didn't want to let anybody know that they were just there for that reason, as opposed to actually being there for the awards. But again, it's just my introduction to stories that matter, creating storylines, having people there, because like clearly he was there with his team saying, hey, we're going to go here. This is what we're going to say. I'm a nobody, so it wasn't like they had to win me over. Maybe if I was a director or an actor, they would give me a different story. So, but it's more of just being conscious of the story that you're living and creating in real time, but also on the screen. Because the thing that now going to the awards itself, it seemed as though we were stuck in. No, it was great, but at the same time, the stories were very much like we shall overcome, DEI, the black actor, somebody gave me a chance, and you guys are shaking your head because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like we've seen this story, and I think I think we're at that point where now we create a new storyline, and we have new films, and we've already gotten that first woman to do this and first that whatever, or I don't know. I just think that this is a moment that I think it's like, okay, we get it, and now we're at a point where we're looking for a new story that matters.
and are you and just to be clear, are you talking about so you're basically talking a bit about like the wokeism of equality and those type of things, equal chances. Although I understand that's important, but are you saying that the movie, so the storylines were mostly that, or were you saying that the whole
Awards.
award show was like that?
So I would not say the award. So the award show was actually good. and I say that in the sense that just well, like produced.
Organized.
So I wouldn't say the award show itself, but more so the stories that the awards were
Give it to
award like giving the awards for, right? So it's like that's the piece where I think it happens from a new line of writers, actors, all of those that are inspired by the yesterday. Like you don't want to just completely get rid of what got us here.
Yeah.
But we also don't want to just stay and do another movie that is just like the one that we gave an award for, not just yesterday, but 20 years ago. So I think it's that balance that we certainly pay homage to, our, let's just say, forefathers. But I just think
I don't know.
there's so much runway, so many things that we can take it. I missed that one, but in totality, I don't know. I think especially from a top down, so from the content creators that have no following to the writers that do the box office $100 million films, I think we're looking for something new.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, KaiR.
No, I think people are changing. It's slight. I have a feeling that it's slightly changing. What you see is that um, um, there seems to be more emphasis on other than the DEI stuff, right? I think it was Joe Mazzulla who did an interview a couple of days ago where they asked him what is it to be the first I think it was two. They asked him two black coaches or something like that, and he said he stared in front of him and said Christian coaches or something like that. So,
Yeah, I'm more interested in knowing how many Christian how
Yes,
many
that's
of them were Christians.
Right.
yeah. Like
Hey,
that's
you
a
take
random.
color. Yeah, you take color. I'll take religion. What else? Who wants
And
to
two
take color? Yeah.
was totally quiet after that. So I think
Yeah.
And I think that's just because they never heard of that. So like that's the part that I'm saying. Like for Joe, he just never thought of that. That just isn't something that was like, oh, we made it because of that. So he couldn't answer that because he never thought of it. And I think the writers now have to understand, hey, not everybody thinks that this is like an achievement. And not only just the writer, I think we're all at that point where it's like, if I didn't even, when I look at Jason Kidd and Joe Mazzulla, that it literally never crossed my mind.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Especially
But
if
some
you
people are obsessed with stuff like that. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. I think that, especially I don't think of it when I look at Jason Kidd. What I think,
The Drake complexion.
yeah, I mean, I'm closer to that. Yeah, you always, anyways. That's not go there. But what I wanted to say to you guys, however, and I think this is important to remember. Uh, I'm gonna push back in the sense that I agree with you what you say, but I'm just gonna push back for the thought exercise. Okay. There are certain movies. If I ask you ask you guys right now, what movies do you consider great movies, amazing movies, one of a kind? And I can think of a few. To me, I would tell you, The Matrix, at least the first three.
Yeah.
I can tell you, for example, Inception was a great movie.
Yeah.
Shutter Island was a great movie. So there are a couple of movies that really stand out, right? But why do they stand out? They stand out because they're different. There are more normies, as KaiR likes to call them. There are more normies out there than free thinkers, more sheeps than shepherds. So it makes the only way that a movie like The Matrix will stand out, and every time you watch it, the first three, again, I'm going to repeat the first three because the fourth one, they're trying to take it in a different route. But the only reason why it stands out is because it's different from the rest. If all movies start being produced like that, we all know what's going to happen. It's going to become just like a regular action movie.
Yeah.
Like when you go watch Bad Boys, when I went and watched Bad Boys 4, any action movie, John Wick, and all those things. I'm just sitting. I know what I'm gonna watch. I don't know how the ending may they if I know that they're planning like sequels and I know that the main character won't die, maybe someone else will. But I know what to expect because I've watched so many of the movies right now, and I just go to watch it for fun. But if I look at the same goes for the what do they call them, the black exploitation movies. So you know
Mhm.
what will happen. They have you know what's gonna happen, and so the I think that you need to keep doing you. So you need to as a for example, if you're a model, you need to keep doing you,
Yeah.
working out, eating healthy, working on yourself, communicating, etc. And maybe if I mean put yourself in the best possible position. Same goes for movies. And sometimes you have bad luck because you're in a year where the DI will take over and they will choose the current Miss Alabama, for example, to be the Miss Alabama. But you shouldn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna be Miss Alabama." Risk. I'm serious, guys. Risk getting a heart attack just to be to for in the hope to getting to I
It's a
think
one-time thing.
the artist, yeah, it's a one-time thing. So I do think that the artists, and especially with the platforms, and we talked about this last time when you were here, see Moses, that you have platforms that can level the playing field, and I mean, it's I think people are always making good music, always making good poetry, always making good movies, always making good documentaries, but it's just sometimes they don't get pushed by the mainstream media and platforms, which means you need to be a little more creative in doing it. But I do think that there are a lot of people who are on that level, basically.